Good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee with Rob. Today is July 28th, and as you can see, I figured things out a little bit better. I got my title here to work a lot better than what it was before, which is pretty exciting. So I just wanted to give myself a little pat on the back for that one because that one actually worked out pretty decently. I figured out what was going on with it. I had it still up in the cloud, so I have brought it down from the cloud, and now it's working great. So a few quick little things to kind of clear up. As you can see, I've got everything here again, which is pretty sweet. I figured out that there's this great little program that I at this point am highly recommending to a lot of people, whether you have Windows or Mac, because I discovered that it does work on Mac as well. It is called CC Cleaner, and they have a free version. Just basically means you have to kind of manually go in and work with it. But what it does is it's like a registry cleaner or whatever it cleans up in Macs. So on Windows, it's a registry cleaner, and Mac it just kind of cleans up a whole bunch of useless junk files and just kind of speeds everything up, which I didn't realize I had. I kind of figured there was a lot of garbage going on in my Mac, but I didn't realize how much. I put CC Cleaner on it, and it has cleared everything out, and now everything seems to be working a whole heck of a lot better. So I am pretty stoked on that. I was able to fix a few things up and get everything working a little bit better, which is pretty phenomenal. Like I said, I definitely highly recommend the program CC Cleaner if you are running Mac or Windows computers. That's my little plug for them. They aren't paying me for that one, but I am pretty stoked to be using that particular product because I find it has been working quite well for me. For the fact that I do run Windows on one computer and I am running Mac OS on obviously another one, and the fact that it has kept now both my computers free and clear and running properly, I can't recommend them enough. I am pretty happy that they work so well. And today, as promised, I do have something fun I'm going to show you on the whiteboard here as well. It's actually something, it's not what I was going to show, but it's something I learned at the end of last week, which I am pretty stoked on. So I thought I would share it with you today as well. I thought it was a really cool kind of concept and really shows the importance of life insurance, especially when it comes to your mortgage. Especially if you're one of the main sole breadwinners of the family, or if you're the one who happens to just bring home more of the bacon, as it were, in the family. This way it helps protect your family in case of your untimely death. And it does definitely help a lot more. And it's just a cool concept that I learned last week, like I said, at the end of last week. So I really wanted to kind of share that one and just say, hey, look at this. This is really kind of cool, and let you see what it is. Once again, with any of these concepts, I do live in Canada, so I do know they work in Canada, specifically British Columbia, because that's where I'm from. I do believe they will work in the U.S. as well. For the rest of the world, I'm not too sure, unfortunately. That is something you'll want to talk to about with somebody that is in financial services in your country. They said this is just a concept, so it is really kind of a cool idea. I just wanted to kind of share this with you because I thought it was kind of neat that somebody showed me this one as well. So I just wanted to bring it to you as well because I thought it was a really kind of neat idea. So we'll get into that here in a little while. Right at the moment, though, we are going to be talking about the weather. British Columbia, or at least southern British Columbia, is in a heat wave, which is pretty phenomenal. I am very much a summer person, and I love the sun and the heat. So I am pretty stoked on the idea that we have a heat wave happening right now. It has been going on for 2 days. It's supposed to run to the end of the week. As a matter of fact, as the week goes on, it's supposed to get hotter and hotter. I think it's going to reach its peak heat. I think my weather said Thursday, which I am pretty stoked about as well because I am someone, like I said, I do enjoy summertime heat and can't wait to have more of the summertime heat. So it's something I'm really looking forward to. One of the other things, as much as I do love the heat, I did find that I got a little too much over the last 2 days with my kids and hanging out at the beaches. I got home yesterday after about 4 hours at the beach, and I came home, sat down, and I was supposed to take part in some training, and I just I zonked out for probably a good. I was in and out for about a good solid hour and a half, maybe almost 2 hours, just because of the heat. I was just drained out, and the fact that we were in the water pretty much the entire time, swimming and just having this really great time, that I found that I was just, energy was just wiped right out. I couldn't function anymore for the rest of the night pretty well, and that was it. But it's great because we finally have some summer weather, which is pretty awesome. So we're really taking advantage of it as much as we can. Today they go back to their mom, so we're not taking as much of advantage of it from my place, but I'm sure she'll have something planned for them to enjoy some of this new lovely summer weather. And then after I drop her off, I'll drop them off with her. I take a little bit of time. Then my mom's asked me for some help, so I'm going to go help her out today as well. Sorry if I'm seeing like I'm scratching a lot. My skin's a little bit dried out, and I've got a whole bunch of mosquito bites apparently. I'm not sure where they all came from, but I got some on my upper chest here, some on my chest here, arm here, all over the place. Not sure how I got them. I know they're from mosquitoes, but I'm not sure exactly where I came across these mosquitoes at this point, unfortunately. But that's totally fine. Mosquitoes are just a nuisance, but no big deal, really. What else was I going to share today? The weather. I haven't seen much. I've been trying to pay less attention to the news because I find that's been really bugging me quite a bit lately. I've been looking at it a lot more frequently. It's a habit that I've all of a sudden kind of developed, and I was never much of a news person to begin with. So I've ended up looking at a whole lot more news, which has been really detrimental to my mental state. So I've actually pulled back on reading and looking at news articles and stuff. So there won't be a lot in the way of a whole lot of news stuff there, unless I can come across anything that might be any good newsworthy. Which so far today, I got it basically started going to here, so I haven't seen a whole lot. But we'll take a quick look through the news and see what we have. Here's people that can influence you when they're not even in the room. Oh, that's good. They're models for us simply by the way they live their lives. Jean Bliss. That's a cool one. No. From Lolly Daskell, promise yourself to live to your fullest, to set high expectations, to face challenges head on, to make people feel good about themselves, to be excited to see others succeed. Yes. Kelowna News is parents divided over sending kids back to school. I could definitely see that. That's definitely going to be an ongoing thing for a little while. I want to send my kids back to school. Where we're at, we don't have a very high infection rate, so I think my kids will be pretty safe going back come September. Depending on how things kind of pan out over the summer, but I'm pretty sure where we're at, we should be pretty okay. So I'm not too concerned about it. And the kids do need to get back to school. We need to get back into that kind of routine as well. So we're looking at getting them back into that routine because it's something that definitely at this point should be back to, or at least normal-ish. However they decide to open up the schools, I'm totally cool with. If they kind of partition the kids out over the days. So if they have like 3 on, 2 off, as an example, over the next couple weeks, or over the weeks when they open up, or for the remainder of the kind of the year. So my thought would be they would be like 1 week they'd be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the next week they'd be Tuesday, Thursday. So they would alternate the kids back and forth that way. and then that way they can have fewer kids in school at the same time and smaller classrooms, and they can just kind of alternate them. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I can totally see them doing something like that to try and offset too many people in the schools all at once, which I think would be a pretty good idea, at least for our school system. As for anyone else's school system, I don't know what that would be. Oh, hello, TTGo08. But that's just my one little thought on that guy there. Hard to say though. I don't know what the best answer is on that one. I just know that the kids should be getting back to school. And that's kind of my thought on how that one would work. So anyway, we are going to get to our wonderful whiteboard of wisdom. Ooh, once I can get the marker off there. And so basically what I'm going to show is I'm going to show like how a bank would own your mortgage, or you would own your plan. So the bank owning your plan or you owning your plan. And no offense to any of the banks. They do a great job. That's obviously where we have to stash our money for savings and for checking and to be able to pay bills. And that's also a lot where we get our mortgages from as well. So they do a good job. So I'm not going to be knocking them. They just have some products that probably don't suit everybody's needs as well as they probably should. And that's kind of some of what we're going to get into a little bit. So what we have here is, if we split her down the middle. So once again, this I know is definitely something that works in Canada, specifically British Columbia. And then I do believe this would be something that would work in the US. As far as the rest of the world is concerned, I'm not 100%. So just take what I'm saying with a grain of salt and know that it works in North America more so. And then you want to check with your people in your country. I'm sure there's something there. I just don't know what it would be. So like I said, this is for mainly Canada, and I'm pretty sure this also works in the US. But be aware that I know for sure it's a Canadian thing, and specifically British Columbia, since that's where I'm from. And that's who taught me, was somebody from British Columbia. So this is, sorry for my horrible writing. That's where the bank owns your plan. And this is where you own it. So I'm going to use the numbers I was taught because they made sense, and I didn't learn it any other way. And why teach something differently if I know it in one way? So let's just say with the bank owned side that you have a $500,000 mortgage, and you have an amortization of 25 years, and you pay $2,237 per month, right? That makes sense so far. So the idea here is that you're running the traditional mortgage, you're paying it off, and you're done at the end. So by the time you get to the bottom, you have a house that you now owe nothing on after 25 years. So 0. However, you also have $0 saved, right? Because most likely at a $2,237 per month, roughly, that you probably didn't get a chance to save a whole lot of money into that. And it went all into servicing your mortgage. So one of the kickers with the bank-owned plan is they most likely have got you into mortgage insurance, which in Canada is just a product that the bank is able to sell. It's bordering on the idea of tide selling because they really emphasize how much you need it and how you can't have your mortgage without it. Like, they really kind of try to lean on that a little bit, which isn't quite illegal, but it's getting pretty darn, it's like kind of borders on it, but they've done it in a way that it isn't. And the idea with mortgage insurance is you pay this amount every month. And as your mortgage goes down, the amount that you pay stays the same, and the bank owns it. And if you happen to pass away during the mortgage, they potentially pay off your mortgage with that. So what would end up happening there is they don't underwrite it to begin with. They may have asked you a few qualifying questions to get you into the product, but then once you pass away, that's when they underwrite it. So it could potentially pay it off, or it could potentially not, and then your family does not see anything. So with your own plan, we'll say you have the same mortgage of $500,000. Still the same 25 years. You're still would be paying the same amount of $2,237, but say the main breadwinner of the family does not come home, and that's where most of this $2,237 is being taken care of. With the proper life insurance coverage, from what I've understood, is that you have a couple of options. You can either just pay the house outright and then just never have to worry about that payment ever again. And then you'd still end up with however much left over from the mortgage or from the insurance, or if anything. The other option that you can do, and this is the one that really kind of, so like I have life insurance, and I think it's great because I want to make sure my family's protected when I pass away, and that they have something to be able to pay for the house and pay off any debts that I might have and stuff like that. So one of the cool ideas that I did here is that if you take the $500,000, instead of paying off the mortgage right away, is you throw it into an investment account and then have the account make monthly withdrawals of $2,237. It would still pay for the mortgage for the entire 25 years. And you're probably thinking, well, what's the point in that when you can just pay it off right away? So the idea is, if you take this $500,000 and throw it into some sort of investment, and we'll just say, because this is one of the numbers I learned, was at, say, 6%, which is fairly conservative if it's done right from what I was told. So what would end up happening is, even though you're paying $2,237 out of this account, but with the money sitting in there still and still growing, you would actually end up at the end with $627,000, even though it's taking $2,237 out every month to pay for the mortgage. So your family comes out actually quite a bit ahead, which is fantastic because that's what you want. You want to make sure that they are able to still pay for the house and make sure they have money set aside just in case anything else comes up. This could be set up for however it needs to be done. But this would be something to help your family ongoing after you've passed away, to help leave a legacy, to help build a future for them, for your wife or husband that you've left behind, for your 2.5 children or 3 children or 4 children or whatever it might be. This would help them set up their futures quite a bit more. And like I said, 6% from what I was told is pretty conservative. They also did the number with a little bit higher, and we're not talking massive changes here. We're only going up 2% to 8, so 8%. So we're only going up 2 points altogether. And doing the exact same thing, this would actually end up netting your family like $1,379,000 or something to that effect. I'm sure somebody out there will double check my numbers on that one, but that was kind of a cool concept that I seen that would work with life insurance. And I was like, wow, that's a fantastic thing. Like, why don't people teach this? Like, this is a great idea. Like, the bank owns completely all of this, and like in that, if you're just paying off your mortgage and you make it to the end, that's totally fine, but you've saved nothing. And if you happen to pass away and the bank pays off your mortgage, you've saved nothing for your family. It all has just gone to the bank because the bank owns the mortgage insurance, so it's not going anywhere. They're not giving the remaining amount to your family. Like I said, definitely not knocking the banks. I think the banks do a fantastic job. I'm just knocking this one product of the mortgage insurance, and that's whether it even pays out properly in the end or not. So the one where you own your plan, and you have your life insurance and you can pay it off however you want. So your family can just take it and just run with it or do whatever they feel like. They can pay off the mortgage right away, or they can throw it into an investment account and let money come out of it every month to pay it off. And as the interest builds on it, they can still come out and they still come out ahead and have a legacy built for the family for a couple more generations, which is definitely not a bad thing. You want to be that person who is setting up your family for future success, whether you're around or not. You want to make sure that they're well taken care of and that they are looked after and able to thrive and survive as well. Not just thrive and survive, but survive a lot better than what they probably would have prior to this. And this helps them out tremendously. I mean, if you don't come home from work one day because you got hit by a bus or something, or something, because I mean, any kind of accident like that is super tragic. This helps them so that way they don't have to worry about paying and maintaining bills. And that way it helps alleviate a lot of any of their stress and any of the worries that they may have as well. And this just helps them out tremendously on this side here. So you definitely want to own your plan. No matter what kind of plan is set up, you want to be the owner of that. You do not want to let the bank own that part of it. You can let them hold your money for bills and hold your money for a few other things like that and be able to lend you money for mortgages. But you don't want them owning the plan on how you take care of the rest of that. This is kind of like the pay yourself first, and this is the pay yourself never plan. It's kind of the way those ones work. So definitely be on this side, not this side. I think you'll be much happier and safer on this side, and your family will enjoy it a whole lot more as well. So I hope that all made some sense, and I hope you enjoyed my show today. I know I enjoyed it. This was a good one. I really, like I said, I learned this concept last week, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. I had a different one that I was going to share, but I decided this one was probably the cooler one to share right at the moment, just because I had just recently learned it, and I thought it was a really interesting, cool idea to be able to use life insurance properly to help set up your family for future generations to be able to be better off in the end as well. And at the very least, the mortgage is getting paid off, and that's really what matters in the end, especially with a big payment like that. Looking around my neighborhood, there's some new houses that have been put in, and I could pretty much say that there's probably some homes that have probably roughly about a $500,000 mortgage, and they're probably sitting there with mortgage insurance as well. I don't know who all these people are, so I'm hoping to be able to get to them, or that they see something like this and contact me, which, as you can see, some of my contact information is coming up below here. I am going to switch this up for next time as well, so it scrolls across instead of scrolls up, because it doesn't leave a whole lot of time for it to be shown, and that way it looks more like a cool ticker, which is more what I want. But yeah, like I said, own your plan. Don't let the bank own it. This is a really great concept. This one may or may not work, but this one should definitely most likely work. Like I said, once again, this is definitely for something in Canada, specifically British Columbia, and I do believe this would probably work in the US as well. There's probably something kind of like this in the rest of the world, but I don't know. You'll have to talk to somebody in whichever country you happen to reside in. Like I said, I just know Canada for sure, because that's where I live and that's where I learned it. Anyway, I am literally just rambling on at this point, so I am going to jet off. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I am going to leave you with some information to be able to get a hold of me and do other stuff here as well. So just give me one moment. So into the chats there, I am going to leave some information that if you enjoyed today's episode and would like to support the stream, there are options in there to be able to do so. Any little bit does help us continue on with this and be able to make the stream better as well, and be able to provide better service and better quality. Basically, everything's going to go back into this to try and make it a better program for everybody. Also, as well, I got a Discord server, so if you'd like to come by and chat, you definitely can do so. Just become a verified member on the Abundance Brotherhood Discord server, and you would have access to the after the stream chat. It's pretty simple because when you come in, you'll be right in. What the heck just happened there? You'll be right in the. What's the word I'm looking for? Right in the rules of engagement channel, where you can easily just select where you can easily just go on and be able to just hit the button and get verified, and then you can join us in the after stream chat because it's only open up to verified members. All right, that's my show for you for today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. Hit some of the links, give some love and some support to the series, and we'll be able to continue on doing this a lot more and be able to provide a lot better production value as we go along as well, because anything that comes in will go straight towards the stream as well. Also join us on Discord for any discussions and future information. And then if you want to just hit me up, I've also provided my social media links as well. If you want more information on these kinds of things, you can direct message me through Twitter, Facebook, or even Instagram. Direct messaging me through Facebook is probably a lot easier because that one I'm usually on it a little bit more frequently, and same with Twitter. Instagram, I don't check the direct messages that frequently, but you can hit me up there too. I'm totally cool with that. So if you do want more information on these kinds of concepts and strategies, definitely direct message me on Twitter, Facebook, or even Instagram, and I'll get back to you. Or if you're on the Discord server with us, you can always direct message me there as well, which would probably be the better option because it will be most likely a lot more secure, and I'll get the notifications on all of those right away. So anyway, with all of that, and now that I have rambled on and sped through the last little bit of my sentences, I will bid you all adieu. Have a great day, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you happen to be. And we look forward to talking to you more. Remember, stay safe, stay healthy, ride hard, and live long. Adios, everyone.